excited. It's going to be a great fight. It's a good opportunity for me to be back in the ranking. We've been there before COVID. I know him. It's a game fighter. He's here to fight. We all know that he's going to come at his best shape. I will come in my best shape. So I think it's going to be a war.
Williams. For how much longer? Williams goes look against you. He lands a straight left hand.
Welcome, fight fans, to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's headlining main event in Orlando, Florida, between Ammo Williams and the Canadian Patrice Volny. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please hit subscribe now? A lot of you guys are watching my content and haven't hit that button yet. Also, like this video and be sure to hit the bell notification icon. This will ensure that you'll be notified every time I put something out that's new. Thank you. All right, guys, all week I've been going over this fight card in Orlando, Florida. We covered a few fights so far. The return of Edgar Berlanga. There's also a featured fight between Yomar Alamo and Jermaine Ortiz. And today we're going to be covering the main event. This fight takes place at middleweight, 160 pounds, between a few top 25 middleweights in the world. We know the champions in that division, guys. We just saw Carlos Adames fought to a draw against Hamza Shiraz. Shiraz has fought and beat Ammo Williams not too long ago via 11th round stoppage, so there is history with those two guys. And the other champions in the division are unified champion Janibek, as well as the never-aging wonder Arislandi Lara. So this is one of those fights where you have a 35-year-old Canadian in Volny and a 28-year-old Southpaw American in Williams. They're looking to get back into title contention. It's a main event for a reason. This goes to show you how much energy and effort the promoters are putting behind Ammo, because he's a very exciting fighter to watch. The Texas Southpaw is a guy who's gonna go in there and fight you every single time. He recently gave an interview this week talking about the day and age of having undefeated records are long gone, and his fighting style is here to prove it. And I support that. This guy went out on his shield against Shiraz. Shiraz was a taller fighter. Now, Hamza, most people would say that wasn't the same guy that we saw against Adames, and I'd like to tell those people maybe Carlos Adames is just that good. So there's a lot of things that still need to take place if we ever think we're going to see another Shiraz versus Williams fight, but you never know. That fight doesn't seem too far away or far-fetched with how things are turning out. We last saw Ammo this past November, his first fight since his only career loss against Shiraz. He came back with a knockout victory. And his opponent, Volny, this guy, all he does is knock people out. He only has one loss on his resume, and that is controversial. It was a 6-round stoppage due to a cut, which ended up, they went to the scorecards. He was fighting the Brazilian Facao, but if you watch that fight, I just got done watching it, it got stopped in the 6th. They went to the decision, and Volny lost the decision. But if you watch it, the momentum was all Volny, and you started to see that fight swing, and it wouldn't be ill-advised to say that Volny would have come out on top. So that's his only career loss. At 35 years old, it is now or never. It's going to be an exciting matchup between two guys who want to put on a show. A lot of mainstream fight fans might not know who Volny is. So in this video, we're going to take a closer look at both fighters. We're going to talk about what they've been up to. We're going to cover the Las Vegas odds, where the bettors are putting their money at, as well as stay tuned to the end of the video, guys, because this is a prediction video. Now let's remind everybody about what's at stake during this fight this weekend in Florida. All right, guys, on the eve of his fight with Patrice Volny, Austin Ammo Williams dismissed the modern-day culture of perfection that demands that fighters remain undefeated. He and Canada's Volny fight at middleweight on Saturday at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida, in their attempts to secure a world title fight later in 2025. And aware that the picture surrounding the titles in their weight division is ever evolving. They headline a promotion also featuring Edgar Berlanga versus Jonathan Gonzalez Ortiz and Jermaine Ortiz versus Yomar Alamo, as well as the much anticipated professional debut of Olympian Omari Jones. Perhaps equally relevant to the 28-year-old Williams is the fact that he fights for the second time since having recorded his only defeat to Hamza Shiraz in June of 2024. And that there remains a perception that defeat continues to undermine Ammo's value. And I quote, "We're closing in on an ending of an era of perfection where everything has to be perfect, which I believe ruins fighters, makes guys not want to take risks," he said. "That's never been Ammo Williams. To land here is just a dream come true for me. The Ammo Show. You will see explosion, and beyond explosion, you'll see brilliance. You'll see class. You are witnessing the beginning of something very special. Everybody who's been on this journey with me, y'all seen me. My highest of highs and lowest of lows. I'm inspired by the people on this card. Omari Jones right here, Olympian, helping me push myself forward. My promoter Eddie Hearn knew he was going to build me up through professional boxing. I had to go around the world. I've been in the Middle East, the UK, Madison Square Garden, MGM Grand, putting on big shows, fighting swing bouts, and ending up 2 fights before Anthony Joshua, right before Katie Taylor. My journey has not been textbook. We're figuring this thing out as we go. It's a race. Everybody's running. You're on your last leg no matter what. You're on top of the mountain one day, you could get knocked off to the ground the next. So to take sacrifices in real fights, it gets scary for fighters. End quote. Volny, who's 35, has also previously recorded defeat against Brazil's Esquiva Falcao in 2021. And I quote, "Ammo's a tough fighter, good fighter," he said. "But I've been in the game a long time. I've been on the road a long time. I'm here to fight. That's what I love. My team called me to say, 'Do you want to fight Ammo?' I said yes, right away. I'm not here just to fight regular fights. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, well, that's the game. I'm 100% in. It's going to be a great fight, amazing fight. Stay tuned." Guys, I'm excited about this fight. It's going to be the headliner on an interesting card, an interesting show. It goes to show you the anticipation of the division when they're headlining and Berlanga, who's coming off a Canelo fight, who's under them. Now, there really aren't any superstars at 160 pounds, and that's no offense to the aforementioned champions. All I'm saying is, with an electrifying performance on either side, whether it's the Canadian Volny or the American Williams, you'd have to think it instantly puts them into a title shot as well as close to being a household name if they get an electric knockout. With social media how it is, with knockouts going viral, you never know. With both guys already having a resume, already putting the long yards into their roadmap to their career to put them where they are on Saturday night, anything can happen. When we look at the odds of Las Vegas, currently this is where the fight sits at on the money line. I want to remind everybody I'm using the Sports Bet app in Australia. The money line shows Williams at $1.60, meaning $100 on Williams gets you $60 in return. 100 on Volny gets you $250 in return, and it's 17-1 on the draw. 100 gets you 1,700, meaning that Ammo Williams is a slight favorite. I put this question up on our Facebook group today and on our YouTube community section on who's going to win. And a lot of people are saying 50-50, but then a lot of people, maybe they're just unaware of Volny's style. He's a taller fighter, a rangy fighter, a knockout artist, are saying that Ammo's going to wash Volny. I'm not quite sure. I have this fight as a 50-50. I want to show you guys some other odds or some other options to take on this fight. All right, let's look at some of the method of victory odds. If you take Ammo to win by points or decision, his odds go from 150 to 270. If you go Ammo to win by knockout, 350. So think about that value for your money. If you think Ammo's going to win by knockout, $100 gets you 350. If you think the Canadian Volny is going to win a points or decision, 6-1. But his odds go to 4-1 if you think he's going to win by knockout. So the money is going to be on, when I talk about value, is either guy by knockout. When you look at their styles, I think this fight is tailor-made for one of these guys to get a finish. And here's my prediction. It's a tough one. And you have a crossroads fight with Volny. At 35, it's now or never. He gets to headline a Matchroom show against a young American up-and-coming prospect. And with a knockout, you'd have to think he goes right to the top. And with Ammo, even though he already had a fight since Shiraz, you'd have to think he still has redemption on his mind. Not necessarily to himself, but to the fans and to the naysayers. So he's going to not change anything. We're going to see the same Ammo Williams, that aggressive southpaw who's going to go out on a shield. Now, here's my prediction. When it's a close fight, and I always talk about this, and if there's two gunslingers, two sluggers, I'm not always leaning on the side of experience in terms of round experience. The Canadian has that. He's older by almost 8 years. I'm going to go with momentum, and I'm going to go with the youth on this one. I'm taking Ammo Williams to have an impressive victory. I'm taking Ammo Williams to be too much. His pressure, his aggressive southpaw style, I think he's going to catch Volny with his chin in the air, and I think he's going to win by knockout. This is not an echo chamber. Those odds are 3-1 if you put 100 on Ammo to win by knockout. In the comment section below right now, I want to know if you agree with me or disagree with me, and I want to know who wins and how. Also, guys, if you haven't seen our feature on the Berlanga versus Gonzalez fight, stay tuned because it's coming up right now.